What's up guys, so today I'm bringing you some battles from a really solid Ultra League team. Now this follows the same principles as the last team I made in that it's mainly anti-meta, but I managed to get a lot of good wins out of it. And let me know down in the comments what is your favorite team to run in the Ultra League. And also guys, I've noticed the majority of you aren't subscribed to the channel, so if you don't mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of these team videos. And let's get into some battles. Alright, starting off the first battle here, I'm still keeping the Articuno lead from the last team that I made, and we're going up against the Swampert. So we're going to be following the same strategy as last time, in that we're going to shield the first Hydro Cannon and just farm down with Icy Winds. Swampert is a really common lead that you see in Ultra League, so it's good to have something like Articuno that can counter it really hard. So we managed to get the first shield here, and we're also going to get the attack debuff. So honestly, I don't have to shield this first Hydro Cannon, but I'm going to anyway because I know it has loaded energy. So right here we see we already got the debuff, but it had another Hydro Cannon charge, so I'm glad I shielded that first one. But now we're going to get a second attack debuff, so now the Hydro Cannons really aren't going to be doing anything to me. So we've got a Swampert of our own in the back, and it's really good in Ultra League because it has that ground coverage for the rare steel types that you see, and it also has Hydro Cannon that does a lot of damage and can just be really spammy. So now I'm just going to farm down with Ice Shard here so I can get some loaded energy on my Articuno to debuff whatever he has in the back. So they send in a Lapras. This is a little bit tricky for me because I don't really have good coverage for Lapras. I had Lucario on the last team that I made, but now I don't have anything that can be doing super effective damage here. So I'm going to leave in Articuno and try to get as many debuffs as possible to give what I have in the back the best chance at survival. One thing you might notice when you're running Articuno or another kind of debuffer, you'll notice that the battles tend to go really long, and that's because after those debuffs, you're really not doing a whole lot of damage. So I see them swap into a Charizard since they see that the Lapras can't really do anything anymore after all the debuffs. So I'm going to swap into Swampert here, which is a hard counter to Charizard. Now when you're playing Go Battle League, the only time you want to swap into a hard counter is when you have switch advantage. So they swapped in, their timer's going on. So now I can swap in and they can't swap out. So now I'm lined up to take out this Charizard with one Hydro Cannon, and then they've got Lapras in the back, which I can have Gengar come in and just farm down. Now I don't want to shield any attacks here because Swampert can't really do a whole lot of damage to this Lapras, and Gengar's kind of glassy, so I want to let it have the best chance to survive against this Lapras. So I'm going to let Swampert take all the energy that it can off of this Lapras. Now Gengar can come in, and you see that it's taking quite a bit of damage, but it's not going to be able to kill me with fast moves alone, so I've still got a shield, so in case it gets to a charge move, I can shield that, and one more Shadow Punch is going to take this thing out. So you see here, I'm glad I saved that shield, because Surf would probably take out Gengar at this low health. So now I know I can get this charge move out before they're able to kill me, and that's the first win. Alright, getting into the second battle here, we've got Articuno on the lead versus another Swampert. So we know how this matchup goes, shield the first Hydro Cannon, and go for the Icy Wind after that. So a problem that I ran into with this team is it doesn't have the best coverage against legendaries like Giratina and Cresselia. Like the last team I had did, it kind of struggles a little bit against those, but a lot of people have been running their Premier Cup teams lately, and so this is really good against that Premier Cup meta. And guys, Cresselia is back in raids now, so you're going to want to get your hands on as many of those as possible because it is stupidly good in Ultra League. I know I don't have one powered up yet, so I'm going to be doing as many of those as I can so that I can have one for the Ultra League. So we managed to get a shield here, which is really good for me because a lot of times when you're up against Swamperts, they won't shield the Icy Wind because they don't think it's going to do a lot of damage. But if you can manage to get those shields, you can get even more debuffs off and be able to get that shield matchup with them. So it gets to another charge move here, which is a little unfortunate, but I know I don't have to shield because I've already got the debuffs on. I'm going to win this matchup. Now Articuno is at low enough health here, so I'm just going to go for the Icy Wind against whatever they send in. I know probably like one fire type fast move is going to take me out, and they send in a Heatran, which isn't very good, but I know I've got Swampert, which is going to be doing that 4 times ground damage to it. And since Heatran has such a high CP, it's going to be a decently low level in the Ultra League, so I know a Hydro Cannon is going to take this thing out. So they decide to shield here and swap out into a Togekiss, so now that's really good for me. I can stay in with Gengar and I'm locked into this matchup. Now they don't have any shields, so I know a Sludge Bomb is going to take this thing out. Now I want Swampert to be at the advantage against the Heatran matchup, so I'm going to let this Heatran take out Gengar with a charge move. I'm not going to shield this, I'm going to save it for Swampert, and then we can come in and win. Alright, time for the third battle here. Again, Articuno in the lead, up against an Escavalier. Now this is really tricky because typically Escavalier wins this matchup if we don't use the same amount of shields. So, I know it's got Mega Horn in the back, which is going to be doing quite a bit of damage to me, but I think they didn't have that, and they're going to go for Drill Run here. Now, I didn't have to shield that because Articuno is a flying type, and Drill Run is going to be doing next to nothing to it. But since Escavalier is Steel type, it's going to be resisting my ice moves. So it's a little tricky matchup. I don't know the exact best way to play it, but you're going to want to look out for that Mega Horn, and if you see them get a lot of energy charged up, go ahead and shield that attack. But just like Swampert, go for as many Icy Winds and debuffs as possible. It probably would have been smart for them to back out here and switch into another Pokemon, but they're staying in, so I'm going to be able to get another Icy Wind off before they can charge up whatever move they were going for. Probably another Drill Run, but they let their Escavalier go down here, and they're going to send in a Togekiss. Now Articuno versus Togekiss is good. I wish I could have got to that Icy Wind there, but I can send in Gengar and just go for the Sludge Bombs, or bait their shields with a Shadow Punch. So they got a charge move off, and I know Gengar is so glassy, I really don't want it to be able to take a charge move, so I went ahead and shielded this, and they swapped out into a Snorlax. Now I'm going to swap out into Swampert here, so that I can save that energy on Gengar for the Togekiss. Snorlax is really good at spamming the Body Slam, so I was a little worried here, but I'm just going to go for the Hydro Cannon spam just to get as much damage as possible off on this thing. Now, I know I don't have any shields here, and at this rate, the Snorlax is going to win the matchup. So I want to be able to swap in Gengar on one of those Body Slams. Since it's Ghost type, the Body Slam isn't going to do anything to it. Now, this looked like a really hard loss for me, but I'm praying that I can get some shields with this Hydro Cannon, and I don't. So the Snorlax is on really low health. I'm going to be able to get to one more Hydro Cannon before they get to the Body Slam. But now I've got my switch meter back up. I need to get Gengar in here on this next charge move. So you can see I come in on the charge move almost perfectly. So now you'll see this isn't going to do very much to it since it's Ghost type. Yeah, nothing at all. So now they send in the Togekiss. I've got 2 Sludge Bombs charged up. So I know I can go ahead and go for one. That's going to draw out their last shield. And then I can spam the other one and take out this Togekiss. I was pretty worried here. Snorlax is still alive, so it's going to be able to come in here and farm down my Gengar, but it all depended if I could get to another Hydro Cannon before they got to their Body Slam, and I did. Really lucky, but we got the win. Alright, on to the fourth and final battle here. We're going up against a Gyarados. Now, Articuno wins this matchup. It's going to be doing neutral damage with the ice, and Gyarados is water flying, so that's really good. Icy Wind is going to pack a punch, and we're going to be able to get the debuff on this thing. Now, I didn't know if this was going to go for a crunch or an outrage, so I decided to throw that first shield, but it was an Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail isn't going to do hardly anything to Articuno, so if you see it get like a fast move really quickly with not much energy, don't worry about shielding that. So we got the first debuff down, and it didn't have very much energy stored up, so I knew that was going to be an Aqua Tail. But they swapped out, and I went ahead and went for the debuff on whatever they had, because I didn't want it to do a lot of damage to my other stuff. Now it's in a Alolan Muck. Swampert is decent against this, but a Dark Pulse is still going to hurt. So I know they have Gyarados in the back, so I'm going to go ahead and let Articuno go down here, because I want to save my shield for my other stuff. Now, Swampert against this is good, like I said. It's got that ground coverage for the poison type, but a Dark Pulse is still gonna hurt, as you'll see here. It did a decent chunk with the debuff, and it gets that in like 2 turns, so I was a little worried here as to what to do, but I was just going to go for the Hydro Cannon spam and see if I can get as many shields as possible. Now, I know I can take one more Dark Pulse, but I don't really want to get all the way up to an Earthquake. I think a Hydro Cannon can take it out from this range, but they swap into a Poliwrath. Now, I can throw in Gengar here. I thought this was counter, and that would have been good for me, but it was actually Mud Slap, so it wasn't looking like a very good situation here. That Ice Punch did quite a bit to Gengar, so I'm going to try to get as many charge moves off as possible. It charges up Shadow Punch pretty quick, but it's still not doing very much damage to it. So I know Gengar is going to lose this matchup, and I couldn't decide whether to use a shield or not, but I went ahead and did, because this Poliwrath, I know it's going to take Swampert out, so I need to get it as low as possible. So I know it's going to get to another Ice Punch right before I'm able to take it out, but now it is in range for Swampert to farm down. And that's really good for me because the only way I can win this is if I get several Hydro Cannons off. So they're going to bring the Muck back in, and I had enough energy to get to a Hydro Cannon. So this Muck is going down, and now it's just Swampert versus the Gyarados, and whoever is going to get to the charge move first is going to win. And now I'm able to get to the Hydro Cannon before they can get to an Aqua Tail, so that's another win for me. And if you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave a like on it, and subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll catch you in the next one.